What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So today we're going over the new augment mod for Sevagoth called Shadow Haze. This one gives you increased crit chance, gives you more debuffing ghosts, and things of that nature. So before we get into it, go over this on a deep dive, builds and all that. Make sure you're subbed to this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads, everything from build videos, news videos, farming guides, etc., etc. So make sure you're subbed. Also, check out the live stream channel. I'll be live later tonight with some more Wolf Alert farming probably. And also hit the like button on this video so more people can see this video. Alright, that's about it. Let's get into the overview. So, as far as Sevagoth's new augment, let's just quickly show what it does, what it's supposed to do. It's called Shadow Haze, and it comes from different syndicates. Now, the idea of this one is that you're going to cast the first ability of Sevagoth. Enemies debuffed by it. It normally puts out a debuff of like damage vulnerability, but this augment also gives it an additional crit chance increase on those enemies affected by that ability. And additionally, if you kill an enemy affected by that ghost, they will fire another ghost that can debuff more enemies. You can have up to 3 ghosts on the map. Now, if you actually play Sevagoth and don't just use him for Gloom, you might realize how good this actually can be. If you only play Sevagoth for Gloom only, you probably have no idea what I'm even talking about right now. So I'm going to quickly show you what you can do with this. Now remember, Sevagoth was able to do this stuff before, but now it's just even better. So if you want to use the nuke capabilities of Sevagoth, use the second ability. It will place a damage over time in the enemies, then push the first ability, and it will detonate that damage over time in the enemies as an AoE % health explosion. Throwing in things like viral procs and armor strip can make it where you can insta-kill even armored enemies. So we'll show a Terrify build in a little bit here. Currently on a Nourish build, and the Nourish build is meant for letting you sustain energy and have viral damage on your weapons. Now these enemies are debuffed, they take increased crit chance, and that extra crit chance is affected by power strength. So we've got multi-augmented for even more crit chance. It makes something even like the Soma Prime and Karnan, with its really low crit chance, able to get guaranteed crits. That's actually what we'll be showing in the video today, is the Soma Prime and Karnan on Sevagoth. So yeah, that is going to be the general gist of it. Let's slowly show you what happens when you use these abilities. So we're combining the second ability and the first ability together. And like I said earlier, to clarify, he could do this stuff before, he can just do it better now with Shadow Haze. So this build is fully shield gate. We got Brief Respite and 3 Augur mods. He needs all this Brief Respite and Augur mods to fully shield gate from his 1, the 25 energy cost. With this amount of power strength, we get a 99% increase to crit chance before multi-augmented. So that will go on top of what we already have. Think of like a mini, or like not a mini, a large Arcane Avenger while enemies are debuffed. Additionally, it's like a damage vulnerability of 99% as well. You'll get big damage when enemies are debuffed by this ability. So we're combining that with the So ability, his second ability. Places a... This is what the ability says. Plant a death seed in nearby targets to drain their life force. Reap what has been sown to detonate the afflicted enemies to the percentage of their health as radial damage. So that means basically you push the second ability, enemies take a percent, or rather a true damage over time. That true damage over time is basically telling you which enemies can be detonated by the Shadow Ghost. The Shadow Ghost will detonate that in explosion, blast damage explosion in an area, and the Shadow Ghost itself does radiation damage. So we've got Nourish on here to make it so we can have constant energy regen because, or not constant energy regen, energy regen multiplier because Gloom drains energy. We want to cast both these abilities a lot. So is 50 energy and Reap is 25 energy. We want to cast these all the time. So you can run something like this. We've also got the Terrify build, very, very similar setup. Actually, I think it's the exact same setup. This is enough to fully shield gate, and it's also enough for Terrify to fully armor strip. Now, remember, Terrify does not need this much armor, this much power strength. We've also got some power strength shards. We got 2 casting speed shards and 3 power strength shards. For Terrify, full armor strength, I think it's like 168% power strength or something. So this is a little bit overkill, but you do want to have some extra power strength up here for more crit chance too. So now that we have Terrify on here, it should be an insta nuke of everything. Yeah, so if you throw an armor strip, that's what Sevagoth can do. And there's the additional ghost flying around right there. The ghost will go in different directions. It seems like they just go the opposite direction of what you're looking. Additionally, if you are a big Sevagoth player, you might already know that you can hold down the button to make the ghost fly faster. That make the ghost fly faster thing does not work on the extra ghosts from Shadow Haze. Not that big of a deal, but it's something to keep in mind if you are looking to use this augment to the fullest of its ability. So yeah, let's quickly take a look at what these ghosts are doing too. So we'll nuke these guys down. Now the ghosts go in opposite direction. Usually you could ADS to tell the ghost where to go, See right there, I'm telling that ghost where to go. These other ghosts, they just fly around, do whatever they want to. I actually have 4 ghosts on the map right now. I wonder if that's not supposed to be a thing. Okay. So, yeah, you can use this for big debuff. You can use this to buff the crit chance on weapons. But I'm going to tell you one of the main problems with this augment right now. And it's not the fact that you have to play Sevagoth to use it. One of the main issues with this augment is that the crit chance increase does not work on AoE. It works on direct damage only. So I shoot the epitaph right here. As you can see, we're getting like 1 crit. That should never happen with how much crit chance we have from our augment. Direct hit, guaranteed crit. So I actually asked the devs if this is intended. They have not responded. So I'm assuming this is intended and it does not work on AoE damage. So keep that in mind when you're making weapon choices for this, that you're going to probably want things that do direct hit damage. And also things that don't have the best crit chance normally. Unless you just want to grab even more crit chance than ever. I've gone for things like the Soma Prime, Incarnon. We've got 29% crit chance on the Incarnon shot, but a 12.7 multiplier. That can make it where we're adding an extra 100% crit chance on top of this. It will be guaranteed crits, throwing hot to Satya. It's red crits everywhere, and it's actually red crit slash procs everywhere. I've also tried out things like the Phantasma Prime, which if you remember, the Phantasma Prime has more crit damage than the Phantasma normal, so you can make this thing guaranteed crit. It's like a mini Harrow kind of, but you throw in a damage vulnerability as well, so quite nice on things like that. So let's hop into mission, and I'm going to show you the Nourish build on some Steel Path gameplay. We can talk about this augment some more. Now, the big thing about this, most people probably like just look at the crit chance like, oh, nice, it's a crit chance increase. As an actual Sevagoth player, yes, the crit chance is nice, as Sevagoth does use weapons quite often, and it will affect the crit chance of its Shadow Clone claws, but I just don't use the Shadow Clone anymore. The big thing here is it gives you more coverage on your debuff from your Ghost. So, I throw out the Ghost, it debuffs enemies, they all die and explode. The extra Ghost they release from that, the multiple Ghosts, covers the area in more debuffs. And that will also let you detonate your percent health explosion as well. So it's quite a big damage increase as far as his Ghosts are concerned, and quite a big range and coverage increase as well. Now, I will let you know, I have a range invigoration in this video, and I wanted to just get this out to show you. So it will be less range if you are running this build, but I would definitely say also run some Archon shards if you have them. Throw out some Power Strength shards for Sevagoth. You want a lot of stats on him. You want to have some range to debuff a big area, to place a big area of so you can detonate lots of enemies' health bars. You want a decent amount of range for Gloom to cover a big area, and Gloom definitely does affect your kills per second in survival. You might notice I'm running out of life support here. It's because the enemies are slowed down like the edges of my Gloom slow. So be aware of that if you're looking to play him in survival. You might actually be slowing down your kills per second with Gloom, but still, Gloom is so good, might as well keep it on there anyway. So yeah, the coverage of all the Ghosts is really, really nice. They do radiation damage. They're not going to be really killing things on the Steel Path outright, but as far as the debuff is concerned, this makes weapons hit really, really hard. I shred the Acolyte. I'm doing like million damage slash procs, and this is with a weapon that is viewed in not a very positive way. The Soma Prime Incarnate has pretty much not been viewed positively since launch, and they actually did buff it. They made it where some of the Incarnons are stronger, but even me, I had to pretty much use Sevagoth's Augment to even remotely care about this. So I would say if you're a Sevagoth player, give this a try. If you've never tried Sevagoth out before, he can already do this nuking stuff, but now he can do it with more coverage. I actually think Shadow Haze is a must-run augment, especially for the way I play Sevagoth. I play Sevagoth with, I use him with this idea in mind. I play him as like a debuffer, slow frame that can do some minor nuking, but is mainly using weapons to kill stuff. And that works great for what this augment does. It gives me red crits on my favorite guns. I don't normally get red crits. It lets me get more coverage for my debuff. And yeah, it just gives me more Ghosts too to detonate more percent health explosions. So I would say if you're a Sevagoth player, go get this augment immediately. If you don't play Sevagoth, this doesn't work on Gloom, so move on to the next video, because yeah, people that don't play Sevagoth have no idea how good he actually is. They see him as a Gloom bot, and it's understandable because, you only play one frame at a time, so if you could play Saren with Gloom, or some other frame, Garuda with Gloom, or you could play Sevagoth with Gloom, it'd probably be I'm going to play Saren or Garuda instead for most people, so. That's it, though. I don't think that Sevagoth is any new meta or anything like that. He's just more fun now, and by the way, this crit chance buff does apply to your teammates too, so you can use it as a mini debuff support in ways. As Gloom does heal your teammates, and also this will debuff enemies and make them take more crit chance too. So just really fun stuff all around. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time at Pre-Show Support, and yeah, I'll see you on stream later tonight. Take it easy, guys. Bye!